Welcome to Monday Night Raw's recap show, July 15th, 2024. Rhea kicks off the show by coming out of an elevator. The camera guy will follow Rhea through backstage as she makes her entrance. Rhea Ripley states she will deal with Dominic later on. For now she wants Liv Morgan and the World Championship back that she never lost. Rhea would call out Liv Morgan but get Dominic instead. Dominic would try to explain himself to Mommy in Spanish. But Liv Morgan would interrupt on the big screen. Liv Morgan will go on to say she's more dangerous along with the usual promo as well as some sexual references directed at Dirty Dominic. Rhea would come back with a challenge for the World Championship at SummerSlam against Liv Morgan. Liv would happily accept after saying she's been waiting for this to happen. After this, Rhea would leave the ring as Dominic would follow her to the back. Next we have Sheamus versus Big Bronson Reed. But before that we see Dominic follow Rhea Ripley backstage where Dominic has decorated the clubhouse and gets the door slammed in his face. Priest will show up and ask if Rhea is angry. Dom would reply saying it's complicated. Mommy will open the door and throw the roses at Dominic as well as a gift dog with a bandana on it. When we cut back to Dominic and Priest, Damian is smirking away whilst Dominic says maybe she is angry. Next we move on to big men slapping man-meat. Bronson Reed would take control early on, as they both brawl on the outside where Bronson Reed will launch Sheamus over the announcer's table. Sheamus would hit the 10 beats over the announce table as these two continue to beat the hell out of each other. As we move back into the ring, and Sheamus would deadlift Big Bronson Reed up for the white noise. Bronson Reed will then respond with a moonsault from the top rope when Sheamus would move out the way and hit a high knee for the victory. Bronson Reed would get up to attack Sheamus as he celebrates, when Pete Dunne will come out of nowhere to make the save. Sheamus will extend his hand to say thanks when Pete Dunne will leave the ring. As Sheamus has his back turned, Pete Dunne will jump him from behind. After shrugging his shoulders, Big Bronson Reed will hit the tsunami on Sheamus, laying him out. We cut back to backstage, where we see Rhea and Priest talking, as Finn, JD and Carlito play WWE 2K in the background. Rhea thanks Priest for holding it down, when Dominic appears to try and explain. Rhea was not hearing any of it as she tells Dominic he tried to contact her now, and where was he for the past 3 months? When Carlito walks over to Dominic and says she's angry, huh? We next see footage from earlier on that night with a backstage interview with Zelina Vega when Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark interrupt. Zelina told Sonya she couldn't hear anything past her forehead, which to be honest isn't that big anyway. This would lead to a match between Sonya and Zelina. Zelina would start strong with her quickness. She will hit the 619 very early. The ref will end up getting distracted by Zoe on the other side when Shayna attacks Zelina's arm. Sonya will capitalize on this, hit her finisher and win the match. That's pretty much it. That's what happened. Go backstage when Priest is stopped by Dominic to ask why didn't he warn him. Priest explains cause Dom kept lying. When a yeeted Jey Uso appears all happy, asking Priest if Rhea Ripley is back. Like, Jey, where have you been? Jey Uso wants to holla when Priest says maybe. Dominic gets offended when eventually Jey would leave saying tell mommy to holla. Priest will remind Dominic that he's been to prison and he needs to remind Jey Uso who Rhea Ripley belongs to, when Dominic will run off saying he'll take care of it, followed by a laugh from Priest. Priest and Gunther go face to face next, but before that we see Adam Pearce talking to referees in the locker room. When Chad comes in saying he knows who Ankle Howdy is and says it's Bo Dallas, and he wants to know the conversation between him and Bo Dallas in his locker room last week. Pearce tells Chad Gable Bo Dallas is here, so if he wants to know, he can go ask him. When Chad says he'll call Bo out tonight. As we cut back to Priest making his entrance. Priest calls out Gunther right away. The ring general answers immediately. Gunther shows respect to Priest just before he tells Priest he's not living up to being champion, and tells him his reign has been nothing. Gunther asks Priest to just save the embarrassment and just hand the title over now. Priest responds with him wishing it was SummerSlam now so he can slap Gunther's stupid face. after Priest says he earned his way up to the title. Gunter responds with, "It isn't his fault, Priest's parents didn't provide him with a good life." This ends with Priest calling Gunter a scumbag as these two literally go face to face. When you hear the big brawn, and Strowman makes his way down the ramp. Just before their match, we see Jey Uso and Adam Pearce in the hallways, where we make that Jey Uso vs Dirty Dominik Mysterio match official. Which leads to Braun Breaker coming over to question why Ilya Dragunov got a title match. "I think I see where this one is going." Adam Pearce explains when Braun threatens to destroy both Sami and Ilya in their match. After this, we lead straight into big men slapping man meat, as the world champion Priest takes on Strowman. Priest would use his speed to attack Braun, but Braun will come back using his strength and power. Priest will take over as he sidesteps the freight train around the ring, sending Strowman through the barricade. Priest will attack the legs and will hit 3 spinning kicks to the face of Strowman. Strowman would try to come back with a power slam, when his leg will give way. Priest will take advantage and hit the South of Heaven chokeslam to Strowman, picking up the win. After the match, Gunter will walk down to the ring, when these two finally go at it, with Priest sending Gunter straight back up the ramp. Maxine, Otis and Tozawa are chatting backstage about helping Chad. Chad is hiding behind some equipment eavesdropping. When he walks up to them, and tried to tell them his plan for calling out Bo Dallas. He thinks they have his back, but they weren't talking about him, when Xavier Woods walks in, and Maxine says that Tozawa and Otis would like to help him take on the Final Testament next week, since Kofi is injured. Next we have a tag team match between Kaden Carter and Katana Chance with Lyra Valkyria in their corner versus Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler with Sonya Deville in their corner. The match would start off with Carter and Baszler. Carter makes an early tag to Chance, hitting a double super kick on Shayna. Baszler would use a power to get back in control when she tags in Zoe. Zoe will take control for a bit. But Chance will take over using her quickness to come back and tag Carter. Carter will set Chance up for a cake stand on her shoulders to the outside onto Zoe and Baszler. Sonya tries to distract Chance on the apron, as Valkyria will make the stop and get a kick in the face from Zoe for her troubles. Zoe and Shayna will take advantage, hitting their finisher and picking up the victory. We go backstage with Finn, JD and Rhea. Finn tries to explain that they have nothing to do with Liv Morgan. Rhea tells them not to worry about Liv Morgan. When Dominic comes in to tell Rhea that Jay was talking about her and he is going to take care of him tonight. Rhea says he is stupid for picking a fight. When Dominic tells Rhea he can cancel it, Rhea would walk away, and Carlito will tell them that that's not cool. Next we will have Adam Pearce invite out Drew McIntyre. Pearce tells Drew that Punk vs. Drew can be special and everyone wants this match to happen. Before Pearce makes it official, he wants Drew to apologize to the 2 referees that he attacked. Drew would eventually say no to apologizing, after all the referees have been screwing him over. Drew tells Pearce he should apologizing to him, and that Seth needs to apologize as well for trying to skip the line to get to Punk. Drew would shove both referees out the way to get to Adam Pearce. When we hear Seth freaking Rollins' music hit, and he comes running down the ramp to make the save. Seth and Pat will dance to Seth's music after the ring gets cleared. This would lead to Pat and Michael Cole showing footage of what happened on the Pat McAfee show earlier tonight, where the Wyatt Six pay a visit and leave a tape in the box. In the tape we will see Uncle Howdy talking to Eric Rowan, as he explains how he lost without his brothers. Uncle Howdy will give Eric Rowan his old sheep mask and ask him how he feels. Rowan will tell that this gives him hope. Next we have Dom vs. Jey Uso. Before that match started, Dominic will attack Jey Uso. Dominic will trash talk Jey as he continues to punch him in the face. Dominic will go for a 619 when Jey will send him outside the ring. Dominic will take control again as he strikes Jey outside the ring, as Jey went for a dive, and then sending him into the ring post. Jey would come back as he reverses the 3 amigos. Liv Morgan will come make the save as Jey was setting up for the splash. Jay will drop kick Dominic on to Liv Morgan, when Liv Morgan will spin Dominic around, so she's on top. When we hear Rhea's music hit, and she makes a beeline for Dominic and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan would jump the barricade and get the hell out, when Mommy tells Dominic to get back in the ring and finish the match. Jay would hit a spear and the Uso splash for the win. We move on to Chad Gable coming to the ring to call out the Wyatt Six. Before that, we will see Priest approach Dominic after that match, when Rhea shows up and reminds Dominic that no one owns her, but she owns him. Back to Chad in the ring, as he continues to tell everyone that Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas, and calls out Bo Dallas. When Bo will come down the ramp to be attacked by the Creed brothers. These three will lay Bo out as he lays in the ring laughing. These three will continue to assault Bo as he still continues to laugh. Creed brothers and Chad Gable will hit their finishers on him, and then set Bo up in the corner. Bo will still be laughing in the corner. When Bo tells Chad, "There you are." All of a sudden the lights go out and the rest of the Wyatt Six appear and walk down to the ring, when Chad and the Creed brothers will leave the ring, leaving the Wyatt Six posing in the ring. Earlier we heard why we are getting this main event, as Sami told Ilya in the back that he is impressed with him, and he asked for this match. Dragunov would start off strong. However, Zayn will take control with a dive outside the ring. We return from the break as Dragunov turns Sami inside out with a clothesline, when Sami hits one of his own. Dragunov will go for another one big clotheslines, but Zayn will reverse it into a blue thunderbomb for a 2 count. Ilya will take back control with a few boots to the face, followed by a German suplex to Zayn. After some more back and forth, Ilya would then deliver a H-bomb from the apron to the outside. Sami will come back with a Haluba kickout off nowhere, sending Dragunov outside the ring. Braun Breaker will show up as he sprints around the ring spearing Dragunov as Sami moved out the way. Sami will try take the fight to Braun, as Braun will take over as he hits a huge spear to Sami inside the ring. We end Raw with Braun Breaker closing the show.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.